The twins started screaming the moment the last nanny died, and every soul in the palace knew another name would be erased before dawn. No one rushed to the nursery. No one ever did. The obsidian spire floated above the lavender clouds of Kael'thara like a blade pointed at the universe. It was the seat of the Varelian Empire, a place where stars were bargained, wars were ended with a gesture, and mercy was considered a design flaw. At its heart lived Queen Syrinx, conqueror of 7 systems, breaker of fleets, and the most feared mind in known space. Yet even she could not quiet her own children. They were twins, Vale and Vera. Born during a rare cosmic alignment, their minds resonating with psionic frequencies no adult Varelian could fully control. Their cries shattered glass. Their emotions warped gravity. When frightened, they didn't throw toys. They collapsed rooms. That was why 17 nannies had failed. Some fled. Some went mad. 3 were reduced to ash when Vale screamed hard enough to ignite the air. The last one, an esteemed telepath from the Heliox Collective, simply stopped breathing, her mind overwhelmed by something she refused to describe. And now the twins screamed again. Queen Syrinx stood outside the nursery doors, talons clenched, crown humming with suppressed power. She did not enter. She never did. Because when the twins sensed her, things broke. But that was only the beginning. On the lowest maintenance deck of the spire, far from thrones and stars, Elias Mercer pushed a cleaning cart through a corridor no one important ever walked. He was human. That alone made him invisible. Humans were considered useful, resilient, and emotionally inefficient. Excellent laborers, terrible leaders. Elias had come to Kael'thara 5 years earlier after Earth signed a mutual survival agreement that mostly involved exporting people willing to mop alien floors for triple minimum wage and no questions asked. He was a janitor. He cleaned after diplomats who wouldn't look at him. He scrubbed blood from ceremonial dueling pits. He fixed broken vents no engineer bothered with. And lately, he'd noticed something else. Every few cycles, the spire shook. Not from engines. Not from attacks. From screaming. That day, as Elias polished the chrome wall near the royal lift, the screams spiked, raw, piercing and wrong. The lights flickered. Gravity hiccuped. His cart rolled on its own. Elias swallowed. "Poor kids," he muttered. The royal lift doors slid open, revealing Commander Threx, a towering Varelian with battle scars etched into his exoskeleton. His eyes locked on Elias with something close to desperation. "You," Threx said. Elias blinked. "Me." "The Queen requires assistance," Threx replied, clearly hating every word. None of us were prepared for the truth. The nursery was a battlefield. Cracked walls hovered in fragmented suspension. Toys melted into the floor. The air vibrated with unstable psionic waves that made Elias's teeth ache. In the center of it all were the twins, small, luminous, curled together and screaming like the universe was ending. Queen Syrinx stood behind a transparent energy barrier, regal and helpless. Her eyes, golden and ancient, flicked to Elias. "A human?" she asked coldly. "You sent me a human." Threx bowed. "All others are dead, fled, or broken." Syrinx studied Elias like a faulty instrument. "What is your designation?" "Elias Mercer," he said softly, because shouting felt dangerous. "Maintenance." The twin screams shifted pitch. Elias felt it then, not pain but emotion. Fear. Overwhelming, drowning fear. "They're scared," he said before he could stop himself. The Queen's eyes narrowed. "They are weapons. They feel instability." Elias shook his head. "No. They feel alone." Silence fell. Heavy, shocked silence. But that was only the beginning. Against every protocol, every warning, every instinct, Syrinx deactivated the barrier. The air slammed into Elias like a tidal wave of psychic noise. Memories not his own flickered. Alien stars, burning fleets, endless expectations. He staggered, knees buckling. The twins turned toward him. Vale's eyes glowed white-hot. Vera levitated 3 feet off the ground. Elias dropped his cleaning tools and raised empty hands. "Hey," he whispered. "It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you." The room groaned. Threx reached for his weapon. Queen Syrinx lifted a claw to stop him. Elias took another step forward. And then, something impossible happened. The screaming softened. Not stopped. Softened. Like a storm losing its edge. Elias sat down on the cracked floor, right in the chaos, ignoring the pain tearing through his skull. He did the only thing he knew how to do. He talked. He told them about earth storms and how thunder used to scare him as a kid. He talked about broken homes and night shifts and how sometimes being small in a big universe hurt more than being weak. The twins drifted closer. Their power rippled, but it no longer shattered. Queen Syrinx felt something unfamiliar tighten in her chest. Hope. But none of us were prepared for what came next. Days passed. Then weeks. Elias became a constant in the nursery. He slept on the floor. He cleaned with one hand while holding Vera with the other. He sang human lullabies that carried no psychic command, only warmth. The twins bonded to him in ways no Varelian ever could. Their power stabilized. Their screams became laughter. And the Empire began to whisper. Because what Elias didn't know, what no one told him, was that the twins were not merely heirs. They were anchors. If bonded incorrectly, they would collapse entire star systems when they matured. That was why the nannies died. They tried to control, suppress, dominate. Elias did none of that. He simply cared. Around the midpoint of the cycle, the truth emerged. The High Council confronted the Queen in secret, demanding the humans' removal. They claimed Elias was corrupting royal assets with emotional contamination. Syrinx listened in silence. Then she made a choice that shocked the galaxy. She refused, and ordered Elias brought before her. Elias stood in the throne chamber, knees shaking. The twins clung to his legs, power humming gently now. "You have altered my children," Syrinx said. Elias swallowed. "I just treated them like kids." Syrinx descended from the throne, towering over him. "Do you understand what you have done?" He met her gaze. "Yeah, I think I do." The room held its breath. "I showed them," Elias continued, voice steady, "that they don't have to be afraid of what they are." Silence. Then Syrinx did something no one had ever seen. She knelt. "This changes everything," she whispered. But the universe was not done testing them. The final threat came without warning. A rival empire launching a psionic disruptor aimed at the spire, designed to overload the twins and turn them into weapons of mass extinction. Alarms screamed. Shields failed. The twins began to cry. And the spire started to fall. In the chaos, Elias shielded the twins with his body, knowing it was useless. Energy tore through the nursery. Reality warped. "Elias!" Syrinx roared. He looked up at the twins, terrified beyond words. "Hey," he said gently. "Remember what I told you." They did. Instead of unleashing destruction, Vale and Vera focused inward, anchoring themselves to the one mind that never feared them. Elias felt everything then. Their power flowed through him, not overwhelming, but guided. Human emotion became the conduit alien logic never could. Together, they pushed back. The disruptor shattered. The attacking fleet vanished into folded space. The spire stabilized. Elias collapsed. Alive. The twins laughed. But that was only the beginning. In the aftermath, Elias expected execution. Instead, he was offered something unheard of. Citizenship. A title. A place. Queen Syrinx stood beside him, the twins perched proudly on her shoulders. "You did the impossible," she said. "You did not control power. You loved it." Elias smiled weakly. "Guess humans are good at that." The galaxy would later record it as the moment the Varelian Empire changed, when strength was redefined, and the most powerful beings in existence were raised not by force, but by compassion. And history would remember that no nanny lasted with the alien queen's twins. Until a human janitor taught the universe how to care.